Coach, thanks for joining us. If you don't mind, starting us off with an opening statement, and then we'll go to questions.
Yeah, just Focus Friday here for us. Just literally came off the practice field, and so excited to head to Charlotte. This is a great opportunity for our team. They're excited about it, and look forward to a great know tomorrow. And again, congratulations to Notre Dame as well. What a great year they've had, and know it's going to be a heck of a game tomorrow night.
All right, let's go first to Trevor Groves. Trevor, go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, Coach, I'm guessing that Frank Latson and Joseph Ngata are going to be a game time decision tomorrow. Is Landon Zanders kind of in that same boat?
No, Ngata is out.
He's out. Okay.
Those other guys are definitely available.
They are available. Okay.
Okay, next let's go to Andrea Adelson. Andrea, go ahead.
Dabo, Brian Kelly was just pretty adamant that he wants to see families be able to attend playoff games, and there's some dispute about whether that could happen with the Rose Bowl in California. If you all are selected for the playoff, how would you feel about the fact that families might not be able to attend?
Well, I mean, first of all, I hope we're in the playoffs. I'd like to have that issue to worry about. But regardless, I don't think there's any question that there's plenty of venues. If for whatever reason it doesn't work, then punt and push it to next year to where you can have that opportunity. I mean, I just think it's you try to have fairness for the 4 playoff teams. There's plenty of venues where you can have fans and have an atmosphere for these kids who've worked all year. I mean, we've played in front of fans all year, and we've had an incredible experience. We've had very few issues. Our guys have done an amazing job. Our administration's done an amazing job. I mean, there's plenty of stadiums where you can have fans. You certainly can have your families. I think it would be really sad at this point to be in a playoff game and these players' families couldn't be there. I think that would be poor decision, and again, a year where, everybody's had to have flexibility and make adjustments along the way. I think that would be a mistake, but hey, I hope I get to have the conversation with you on Sunday. That'd be great.
All right, next, let's go to David Hood. David, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Brian Kelly started out by just saying, let's go play. That it's been a couple of weeks since you've played. Clemson knows Notre Dame. Notre Dame knows Clemson. We've practiced. The installs are in. Is that the way you feel, and you kind of get the feeling that your team feels right now? Just go kick it off.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't much to say in the opening statement there that hasn't already been said. There's really nothing to say. Both teams are excited to play. I mean, this is what you work for all year. This is our next goal, is to win this league. And, that's really our only focus, just focusing on this moment and doing our job and being grateful for this moment. So we're excited about it. It's time to go play.
Next, let's go to Leo Haggerty. Leo, go ahead with your question.
Coach, I basically asked the same question of Coach Kelly. And being that you played someone already the first time and you have game film, that doesn't usually happen in college. Is that an advantage that you lost the first one, a disadvantage, or is it just basically neutral?
It's just neutral. I mean, it's like going and having, 3 scrimmages in the fall, and you scrimmage the same defense and they scrimmage the same offense. Sometimes the scrimmage is the defense wins, sometimes the offense wins, and, you're familiar with each other. And, it all comes down to, this moment, this day. I mean, yeah, it's kind of neat when you can actually watch tape. I mean, we play a lot of opponents every year where you can look back and study, but teams change every year. So it's unique that, you can look at a game from your season and kind of see the matchup and have a little more feel for the personnel involved. But, it still comes down to, these 4 quarters, blocking, tackling, who executes the best, who takes care of the ball, those things.
Okay, next, let's go to George Bashura. George, go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
Where do you feel your team is after coming off the field today in their preparedness? And just the second question to add to that is, what does the next 24 hours look like for you and the team?
Well, we're ready. We're ready to go play the game. We've had, 2 great weeks. I feel like we've used our time very well. Our team is super excited to go play and compete for the championship. And as far as our rest of the day, I'm gonna shower up, get dressed, and we'll load the bus here in a little while. And we've got lunch going on now. We'll load the bus. We'll head up. I think we're just gonna stop off at the stadium for just a quick 10 minutes or so, take a couple pictures, let the guys kind of see the venue, and then we'll head on to the hotel. And just a normal Friday for us. It won't be any different than any Friday we've had all year. Just a normal Friday with chapel, meetings, dinner. We'll watch a movie, kind of put them to bed at the end of the night. So nothing different.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, next, let's go to Lawton Swan. Lawton, go ahead with your question.
Hey, Coach. Brian Kelly was asked about, what he'd been doing in the past during this week when they weren't involved in a conference. So from the familiarity standpoint of the stadium, of all this, is there an advantage at all to that, in your opinion?
No, I don't think so. Hey, they're a 10-0 football team, and they're a really good team. It's just, for us, we expect to be here. This is a mindset that we have. This is what we work for all year long. At the end of the day, it's a football game, and I guess in the past years, and they'd be out recruiting this week. So, but it's different for everyone. This is truly a normal Friday for us. Typically the last several years we've been up there, we've been having the ACC banquet this night too, which has actually been kind of fun. I've enjoyed being able to go over there for a little while when we've been in Charlotte for this. And so really just a normal Friday for us, and I'm sure a normal Friday for them. It's the next game. The biggest difference is when this game's over, they hand a trophy out. That's the biggest thing.
Next, let's go to Matt Connolly. Matt, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, well, Brian Kelly said that he was kind of just passing along the message that he's had with his players, as far as that's something they've mentioned as a concern to him about their families not being able to go. Is that something that any players have talked about with you, or is that a concern with the team other than you?
No, we hadn't had any talk about it. I know there's been some talk administratively, throughout the league and the country and stuff, but we haven't talked about that as a team. Our focus is, we hope we have the opportunity, and I'd love to have that discussion. But regardless, whether we're in it or whoever's in it, I don't care. I think if you can't have it makes no sense to me to put a bunch of kids on a plane and fly them all the way to California to play in an empty stadium. It makes zero sense. When you have plenty of stadiums right here in where you can have fans, and most importantly, you can have families. There's a stipend involved too. Families get $2,500, to be able to go to the game. And so, it should be the same for all 4 teams as far as the opportunity that you have, fans, parents, etc. Regardless of what happens with Clemson, whether we're in it or not in it, that my opinion on that wouldn't change. And again, I don't know what Brian said, but this is a year everybody's had to make adjustments. And to me, that'd be a pretty simple one to make. I've dreamed of going to the Rose Bowl, always have. It's the only bowl I haven't been to. That's the only big bowl that I have not been in. And that's always been a dream of mine, to be able to experience the Rose Bowl. Who knows? I mean, again, hopefully we're in it, and that can be a conversation that we can have further. But we got to go win this game.
Next, let's go to John Finneran. John, go ahead with your question.
Dabo, you fulfilled one of your dreams this year when the team went to South Bend and you got a chance to visit some of the campus sites and things like that. I'm wondering if you could share those times that you had there with Tim Beret, and where you went and how you enjoyed your pregame.
That was a great trip. I'd never been obviously to Notre Dame, as you said, but was expecting there to be a lot of snow and stuff like that. But it was actually a beautiful day. I'm glad I got to see it without the snow, because it really is a beautiful campus. I mean, it was really special to be able to go over and light a candle, to go see the church, and just to see. I mean, it really is a beautiful place, and just a lot of history there. It was awesome competing in that stadium, and didn't go our way, but it was our guys, man. It was a great fight, and just again, wish we'd have won the game, of course, but it was a good experience. But Tim took me around, and again got to see the old college, and just showed me the beauty of the campus, and went into the church and lit a candle, and even went over to Digger Phelps' house and kind of did a wave to him from the porch. So it was really neat. It was we got there a little earlier, had a little time before our dinner, and I'm glad I got a chance to experience that.
Okay, next let's go to Will Vandervoort. Will, go ahead with your question.
Hey, Dabo, just wanted to ask, this game has got so much hype this week. It's all over every, news channel, sports channel, all that. Everybody's talking about it. It's something, I guess, in years past when you guys have played in this game, it hasn't been maybe as hyped as much. So from a standpoint of making sure your team is not ready to play today, what have you done to make sure that they're ready to play on Saturday and not get too overhyped?
Just routine, our just normal routine. Same things we've done the last years and years and years to get ready. It's very consistent in how we prepare, very consistent in how we build up to that moment. And so really just same things. We've played in a lot of games where there's a lot of hype and those type of things, but we just do what we do.
Okay, next, let's go to Trevor Groves. You have another question?
Yeah, Coach. You had 17 guys graduate yesterday. Trevor and Xavier Thomas and KJ Henry all graduated in 3 years. Travis got his degree. I know all your academic achievements are very important to you. Take a lot of pride in that. Just thought I'd give you a chance to brag on your guys a little bit.
Yeah, really, really excited about, all the guys. We had 16 current guys on the team, and we had one from last year's team that graduated. And even Chase Bryce was back because he didn't get a chance to walk. He was back and got a chance to walk. So, really, really just, so proud of them. That's what it's all about. You go to college to equip yourself for life. You want to maximize your football experience for sure and become the best player. These guys are passionate about playing, and all of us were when we were playing the game. And this group's passionate about being the best football player they can be. But college is about figuring it out. It's about figuring life out. It's about equipping yourself for the rest of your life. And it's just awesome. It's just a massive, major box to check in life. And, it just kind of sends your resume in a different path. And so a big moment for all their families. It never gets old. seeing that transformation and seeing these young people, from where I first meet them, and seeing the whole transformation and seeing them finish. We've been, 9 out of the last 10 years been top 10 academically, us, Duke, and Northwestern. So it's a culture here. There's a value of education. There's a thirst for that. We've had 18 first-team All-Americans since I've been the head coach. 16 of them have their degree. Sammy and Dexter's still owe me. And, I talked to Dexter Lawrence yesterday. He took a couple classes this summer. He's working toward it, but that's pretty impressive. And a lot of those guys left early, like Deshaun Watson, like Mike Williams, the guys that left with eligibility but yet had their degrees. I just think that's again, speaks to the culture here and the value and appreciation of the education that they get. So big day. And I think we've got 23 graduates on our roster that'll take the field and head into postseason, tomorrow. So just proud of those guys, and it's what it's all about.
Okay, next we'll go to Will Vandervoort. Will, go ahead with your question.
Hey, Coach, one more question. When you look at this game tomorrow, the third down was so big the last time you guys met them on both sides. What do you guys got to do different on both sides of the line of scrimmage to try to win that battle?
Yeah, well, we gotta play better. No question about that on both sides. And the biggest thing is, we got to be more precise on third down. Just discipline with our eyes, discipline with our alignments, and leverage on defense. A little better with our recognition, and then offensively, we've just got to same thing, a little bit more precision in what we do. We've been a really good third down team on both sides all year, with the exception of that game. We were not very good. So definitely was a key part of that game, and something we got to do a better job of. And, our guys are excited about that opportunity, but it just comes down to execution. It's fundamentals, it's technique, it's little things. It's nothing major.
Okay, next let's go to Joseph Gorchow. Joseph, you have a question?
Yes. Good afternoon, Coach. Hope you're doing well. You mentioned that you're going to be going to the stadium a little later today, that walkthrough. How important really is it to take those few moments and just visualize what that moment is going to be like tomorrow night to help get your mind ready to take on Notre Dame in that championship set?
I think it's important. I've always believed that, you have to have a vision for things. You got to have a vision for it. You got to believe it. And then you got to go act upon it, and so we've always done that, whether we've been to, when there's typically if we go somewhere that's unique or a place we've never been before, like Notre Dame, or we go up to Syracuse, we always go by the dome there because it's different, it's unique. And I just think, you have new people every year that maybe have not been there. And so I think that's it's important just so guys can kind of have a visual of it. And we've got a bunch of guys that haven't been in this stadium. So I just think it's important, that's what we do. Won't be there long, but, take a picture or two, take a little moment for these guys to be kids, and they all understand, the importance of the game. But, I think it's important to them to just be young people too, and, have some fun with their teammates, take a picture, and, enjoy the moment a little bit.
Okay, next let's go to John Finneran. John, go ahead.
Dabo, could you tell me what's impressed you about Notre Dame since the last time you played them, specifically maybe in watching some film of North Carolina and how they effectively shut down North Carolina's offense in the second half?
Yeah, well, they've been really good defensively all year. They've done a great job. They've got some special players. They got a bunch of guys going to play on Sunday over there on that defense. But the biggest thing to me is the confidence in the passing game through the receivers. Going into our first game, I think everything was kind of built through the run game, the offensive line, and the tight ends, and I think they were growing their confidence with the receivers. But I think as the season has played on, man, those guys, those receivers have really, really become big time playmakers for them. I mean, 88 has made some huge plays, 11-3. I mean, those guys. And so I think they're much more confident, pushing the ball down the field and trusting those guys outside. They've made, like I said, a lot of big plays, but defensively, they've been consistent all year. I mean, they really have. They've done a great job with their scheme. Guys understand their scheme. They know their personnel. They do a good job using their personnel. They've got some really dynamic, big-time special players in a couple of key spots that you better know where they are. Really just kind of been who they've been all year.
Thank you, Dabo.
Okay, let's go back to Trevor Groves. Trevor, go ahead.
Coach, I know the Burlsworth Trophy is near and dear to your heart as a former walk-on. Hunter Renfro won it 2 years ago. How much pride do you take in Will Spires being named a semifinalist?
Yeah, I was happy for him. Super excited. Will's had his best year. He's averaging 44.1, and the school record is 44.5. By Chris Gardocki, and that's him having a 3-yard punt in our last game. So, where he just almost missed the whole ball, but he's had a great year for us. He's had some big moments. He's become a really good leader, and I'm just really proud of him. And I think that's just very deserving recognition of what he's been able to accomplish.
Okay, last call for questions. Anyone else? All right, Coach, that concludes the press conference. Thank you very much for joining us, and good luck tomorrow.